Hi, so this Chumash word is dedicated Leo Nishmas Avram Yitzchak Ben Yaakov Zev, my uncle, my deceased uncle, Alvin Lou, great man. We're holding here with the sin of the golden calf in chapter 32. The people saw that Moshe delayed in descending the mountain, and in the colloquial terms, they freaked out. They became afraid, and then they coerced Aaron. I don't know if coerce is the right word, but they basically threatened to kill him pretty much, just like they killed Hur, his nephew, if he doesn't create this golden calf. So it's kind of it's perplexing to try to understand what went on over here. They just got the Torah not too long before, and all of a sudden they're idol worshiping. It doesn't make any sense. So let's just clear the air. Only 3,000 people worshiped this as God. Those were the Erev Rav. They were the groupies, so to speak, the people that latched on to the Jews, the ones that Moshe Rabbeinu brought out. Hashem didn't want them. He conceded to Moshe Rabbeinu. But the rest of the Jewish nation just went along with this as what? So let's try to understand this. I'm looking at the Art Scroll, this edition of the Art Scroll. I'm on page 493, and I'm reading the second paragraph on the right column. It said, "What then was the reason for this outrageous sin? Began with an error of fact that mushroomed into a grievous misunderstanding of Israel's relationship with God." And this is really where the mess up happened. Our relationship with God was in question over here. Till now, I'm going to kind of summarize what it says over here because I want to keep this to a short vart. Till now, they've been very dependent. I don't want to use the word needy, but just for the lack of a better word, they were a bit needy in the sense that they depended totally on Moshe Rabbeinu. When at the Sea of Reeds, they depended on him to help them with the Egyptians. All throughout the Makos, he was the man in charge. Who was the one who gave the Torah? Moshe Rabbeinu. So they felt that without Moshe Rabbeinu, they cannot connect with Hashem directly. And they created this golden calf because they felt that their direct connection to God, their router to Hashem, ceased to exist. So they panicked. And they needed another symbol of something to help them connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The problem with this, and this is really the answer to my real question. So this is really all it was that they looked at Moshe Rabbeinu as a conduit to Hashem. So what's the big deal? So quote unquote, Hashem, get over it. Why are you so upset? So the answer I want to give is that how did Avodah Zarah start? Rambam says that there was in the Dar Enosh, the generation of Enosh, people looked at the luminaries as servants of God, and they felt that God is too great and too powerful, and it's beneath their dignity, his dignity, for us to serve him directly. So we would serve his, we would entreat his creations, the sun, the moon, the stars, the galaxies, etc., to be able to intercede on their behalf. And eventually, they started serving the servants as opposed to God himself. And that's exactly why Hashem, I believe, was so exasperated after the Jews got the Torah, was that finally we're setting the world on the right path. We're bringing light to the darkness, and the Jews are now going back, reverting to the Dar Enosh, which was the generation that created Avodah Zarah. And of course, this whole concept of needing an intermediary between you and God launched other religion out there that opposes or that does not mesh with our values. And of course, that brought Klal Yisrael a lot of problems in the future. So Klal Yisrael basically went a step back into the Dar Enosh, and that's the reason why Kadosh Baruch Hu was so angry. Thank you very much, and have an amazing week.